Okay, so welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is a different video. I'm not going to be doing makeup today or beauty or anything like that. So if you have been following my channel for a while, you will know that I do a kind of vary of content when it comes to beauty, makeup, reviews, and also talking videos. So on my channel I want to do a series where I spoke about my personal medical conditions or past experiences in life, relationships, and all of that. So if you're interested, I will link the one I did before this after this video. This one's going to be on another medical condition today, and I'm just basically sharing awareness. I also want to help people if anyone's suffering with conditions that I have, as we go through these. You know that you're not the only one out there that's suffering from them, and it's hard, but obviously I wanted to get it out there in case someone was struggling or if someone needs to know more about it. So I do have quite a lot of health conditions, not tons, but like I do have quite a few physical and mental health conditions. So I want to talk about it on my channel and be open with you guys. And as you can see today, I have no makeup on. My face is literally just a natural look of my face, all my flaws. And I'm going to be talking about a condition. Now I've got my notes up because I am kind of informed about this condition even though I have it, but I want to kind of give more details to some people for like symptoms, because not everyone has the same symptoms and not everyone has the same treatment. So I want to kind of go through it so I can get you kind of like the facts as right as they can be. Now obviously I'm not a medical professional, I'm not some sort of professional when it comes to anything to do with medical conditions. I'm just I'm just literally a person who is suffering from this or who has it, and obviously I want to educate or help people if I can do. So this condition is called hidradenitis suppurativa. Now I don't know if I said that right, but I think it's hidradenitis suppurativa. Now people can obviously say it how they like, but that to me is the way I pronounce it. It might be wrong, I don't know, but it's short for HS. So I got diagnosed with this back in, it actually wasn't long ago. I think it was 2022 I got diagnosed with it, but I think I had it probably further along. Now this condition, the medical term for this condition, as I'm going to say it out here, is painful long-term skin condition that causes skin abscesses and scarring on the skin. So basically, as it says, like you might get boils or spots or acne. Now these can be in various places. For example, like for me personally, I get them in intimate areas, sometimes underneath the breasts. I never actually have got mine in the armpits, but that's very common for a lot of people. I never have done. Sometimes I do get them in this area on the shoulders or necks, but it's mainly intimate. It's mainly like thighs. It's mainly I've had acne as well. What you're seeing on my face right now is partly because of this condition. It's not usually, like, you can get acne from PCOS, which is what I previously talked about in the previous video. However, most of my acne is from this condition. I will actually put a photo here right now of what my skin looked like before I did any types of treatment at all, and when it gets worse. That's just on my face. You can imagine, like on the body it would be similar, when you know it starts to get inflamed and maybe like the bacteria is overloading on the skin. So this usually affects in 1 in 100 people, which is, it's not super rare, but it's not super common either. So it affects both men and women. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in finding out, or maybe you know someone who has it, this affects both genders here, not just female. I've seen actually many males with it as well, and they suffer like severely as well with it. And it's very debilitating as well. What else here? So yeah, most of the time for me I get boils and stuff in intimate areas, and on my face it's bad with acne. As you saw with that photo, that's how bad it could get. And if I didn't get any medication that time to kind of get rid of the help with the bacteria and kind of the inflammation, it would have got worse. and sometimes when you do have abscesses or acne, they can cause scarring. And so if any of you are interested, you can look up the name of it and you can see photos if you really want to, but they can cause tunnels in the skin as well. I did have in previous videos, I did have acne bad on my face to the point where I did have tunnels starting on my face. It wasn't deep, so it was able to heal. As you see, I don't have any at the moment. But you can cause tunnels and scarring, which I do have in other places on my body that unfortunately won't go. They are literally permanent scars. They don't bother me as such, but obviously it's not very... for some people, they might have confidence issues with that because it doesn't look normal as a normal person would. I'm not going to show you photos of people's... their own conditions, because some of these sites where I'm reading off, they have photos, but I'm not going to do that because it's personal stuff. I won't be showing photos of other stuff in the body, but I will show you obviously of my face. You can imagine what the body is like as well. So for me personally, like I said, it's like kind of groin areas, you know, private parts, it's, you know, underneath the breast, sometimes the neck, but that's really rare for me. Thighs and stuff like that, and obviously the face. So I also actually I want to add to this, like something that I've been getting when it's really bad, and I don't see a lot of people with this condition have. Some of them might, but I always used to get cysts in my ears. Now this is really weird, but they usually, like, it's literally under the skin, and it usually comes in this area here. And when I took my antibiotic medication that I had to have, because it got to the point where my body was just constantly inflamed, they were literally coming, like the boils would go and then another one comes up literally a few hours later or maybe the next day, and it'd be constant like that every single time. So I had to go on antibiotic medication to kind of get rid of that so it could help me. And they went away like within like the first 2 weeks. My cysts on my ears went, my acne got so much better, my face got clearer, I had less kind of like flares, and it was perfect. So for other people, you might get it on the armpits. It says here groin, genitals, armpits, bottom, anus, below the breasts. Lumps may also appear on the nape of the neck, which I spoke about last time. I think I've had one lump on my neck, and since then it hasn't been the case. Waistband is another popular one, and inner thighs. So again, some lumps can cause infection with bacteria, which is probably what I had. I think I had too much bacteria on my skin. It was constant, it wouldn't go away. I just looked like, despite the actual spots itself, I looked so ill, I looked so pale, I looked so tired, and it just wasn't a good time for me at all. So yeah, usually you'll need antibiotics. So I took an antibiotic called, is it Limacline or Limacline? I can't pronounce stuff, but that's what it's called. I took that for longer than probably what I needed to. So I took it, and I think I was on it for like 7 months. Now, some people might be like, wow, that's a long time. And I think it was. However, I just had a review recently on the medication, because with antibiotics, if you take it constantly, it can make you resistant to it. So they wanted me to come off of it for a little while, because at the moment, I have been getting normal flare-ups, but it hasn't been as extreme. So I think for the moment, I have literally battled the biggest flare-up I ever had. So the bacteria's at kind of like a stable... and I've just been using a wash, so it's like an antiseptic antibacterial wash they gave me, which is pretty much where you can get some over the counter as well from Amazon or any kind of place, and you can wash with it, so it kind of like makes you, it kind of washes away some of the bacteria to help with the flare-ups. And also they sometimes give you gel as well, you can put on spots or the abscesses to help it heal and to kind of help kind of anti-bac the area as well. But obviously antibiotics are when things get a bit more infected or the bacteria kind of increases. I'm going to talk through other treatment plans. I know one of them can be surgery, which is not really what I want to go down, but if I have to, I have to. So yeah, it says many people with this condition also develop, I can't pronounce it, but it says a small hole or tunnel in the skin at the top of the buttocks where they divide the cleft. So with this condition as well, like I spoke about with PCOS, with these conditions it can lead to other stuff like, as I said, there's different conditions that can come from it. So what can cause HS? So from what we know, there's stuff that's maybe lifestyle wise can cause it. Sometimes it can come from genes. Sometimes it can link with other stuff. For example, because I got PCOS, HS does link with it quite closely. So could it have come from PCOS? I don't know, but personally for me, I don't know what caused mine. Smoking, obesity. So obviously I am a bigger woman. I do have a very varied diet. I am healthy. However, obesity can cause it. Smoking. I used to smoke about 2 years ago and I stopped, so I don't smoke anymore, which is good. But I did smoke for briefly about 10 years of my life. And then HS usually starts around puberty. So sometimes it can be caused by lifestyle, but most of the time, like I said, it can be caused from earlier age and develop and get more extreme. So for a lot of people it can start during puberty, so in teenage years, but it can occur at any age after puberty. So you may develop it and then suddenly you get symptoms later on. This may suggest that sex hormones play a part. Many people with this condition also have acne, which is what I have, excessive hair growth. So I have that anyway because I have PCOS. So I think mine is just like, both of them conditions cause me to have excess hair growth. And like I say, I shave my face quite often because of PCOS anyway. So yeah, that's that. In rare cases, HS may be linked to Crohn's disease, particularly if it develops around the groin area and skin near the anus. Crohn's disease obviously is a long-term condition that affects the digestive system. So I got tested for Crohn's. I don't have it. However, I will talk about my nutrition in another video, but I do have gluten-free diet. I recently found out that I need to go gluten-free, not because it was dangerous, but because I kind of did a diet plan thing and I kind of like eliminated stuff, and I found that wheat was a common denominator of my pains that I had, in because I do have stomach issues as well. And so I did have a test for Crohn's. I don't have it, however, I do have issues with gluten, so I don't know whether that played a part in it. I'm not sure. So yeah, HS runs in families in about 1 in 3 cases. It's not infectious and it isn't linked to poor hygiene. So a lot of people, when they read about this, or people that are not educated on it, they go, well, you're getting abscesses or acne, or you're getting like spots or boils on the skin. That's contagious, but it's not contagious whatsoever. You can't catch it. Obviously, if you're having an abscess that's leaking, obviously there's ways to go about it to keep it hygienic, because obviously it's not good to kind of like not patch things up, but it's not really infectious or contagious, and also it isn't due to poor hygiene. This is something that's like bacterial inside the skin. It's not like if you didn't wash for so long and you develop HS. It's not like that. So it's not due to poor hygiene either. And to be honest with you, people with HS have the best hygiene anyway. Like, you have to, but you still develop, flare-ups. So diagnosing. So if you're listening to this and you think to yourself, I could have that, or someone I know could have that, or it could be possibility, the ways to go about it is obviously GP, doctor. That's a first point of call. They usually check the areas that you're saying that's an issue. For me, it was a groin area, so after going to the GP, she did in fact say it is pretty much looking like HS. And then it was basically I don't think she even takes a swab actually. She did like they can take swabs to obviously examine it, but for me, with the scarring and what was going on, she says it pretty much looks like this, and they can usually diagnose you there. HS could be mistaken for acne or ingrown hairs as well. So treatment for this, like I said, I had antibiotics for a short while just to calm down my flare up so it wouldn't go extreme. However, there is stuff that you can use daily, because unfortunately, from what I can gather, anyway, what I've been told is HS is a lifelong condition. So once you have it, it's pretty much not curable to my knowledge, which is a sad part about it. So it's something you're going to have to live with for the rest of my life, basically. But it's something that you'll end up coming to terms with. But so treating lifelong, they want you to go on like stuff like creams and washes to kind of help you in your everyday. But obviously if it got extreme, you know, medications there to help with that. So like it says here, antibiotics are always given if there's a massive flare up, or like if you're having oozing, sores. Sometimes they give it for you 1 to 2 weeks to get rid of the infection. In severe cases, a combination of certain antibiotics might be given to help with that. Antiseptics, this is what I currently have and what most people probably have that have HS anyway. Antiseptic washes such as 4% wash, applied daily to areas. And then we have retinoids. So our vitamin A based medications that help some people with HS. Retinoids are always prescribed by dermatologists. They must be used with caution and cannot taken during pregnancy. It's also important to avoid getting pregnant for 3 years after stopping the treatment. So they're not usually prescribed if there's any chance you could get pregnant. That's really interesting. If you are concerned about that, you can always have a look and read up and do some information, but I've never had retinoids myself. But it says if you are going down that route, you can't take it during pregnancy or if you want to get pregnant soon. Contraceptives, this is the one thing that I won't go on. I previously was on the contraceptive implant for many years of my life. I came off it about 5 years ago. I'm not sexually active, so I don't need to go on it, but I wanted to give my body a break because my body was literally, I have irregular periods anyway, but you know, despite that point, contraceptive, like oral pills, I didn't want to take because it's not just because I had bad things about them, but I don't want to take another tablet, you know. So there is that though out there if you are looking for treatment plans with that. So contraceptive pills can help. Immunosuppressive treatments. So in severe cases of HS, treatments that suppress the immune system can be useful. However, there are risks associated with suppressing the immune system. So it's probably this is not the like the common one, but there is this treatment. So this is given by injection or infusion at regular intervals, either at home or in hospital. And then the last two here, steroids. Rarely you may be prescribed these to reduce severely inflamed skin. Possible side effects of steroids includes weight gain, poor sleep and mood swings. And then lastly, like I said, surgery may be considered in cases where HS cannot be controlled with medicine. Okay, so there is a lot of treatment options out there. However, the bottom line is it's not curable, so you just have to manage it. For now, I have the antiseptic wash and the gels, and then if I need it, I can always go back on the antibiotics. I actually have some here with me, but I can't take them unless I really need them. But yeah, it's something that I think I struggled with before I got diagnosed, because I always used to get reoccurring boils every single time, and I was wondering why. Everyone kept saying to me it's because of stress, or you're doing too much, or you're exhausted, but I never it just didn't seem right to me. And then lo and behold, I got diagnosed with this in 2022. So you can have it for many years and not be diagnosed. Okay, so although HS can persist for many years, if it's diagnosed early, the symptoms can improve with treatment. However, for me, I feel like it's not extreme every day, but the treatment is keeping it at bay. So for many people that kind of get treatment early, it may be at a mild level, or very much you'll get a flare up now and again, but that'll be it. For a lot of people that go undiagnosed for a long time, it can develop to extreme levels, or where in my case I had to have, you know, medications for so long, otherwise my skin would have literally been covered. However, the condition can have a significant impact on a person's everyday life. Having to regularly change dressings and constantly live with the pain and discomfort of the symptoms can lead to depression. Speak to your GP if you're finding it hard to cope. So yeah, it can lead to mental health conditions. It can make you have like the pain as well. Sometimes I can't even sit down, it's so painful. So for a lot of people probably experience the same thing. What have I missed out here? So yeah, symptoms, they come up in ball-like lumps, blackheads, cysts, scarring and channels in the skin. I wouldn't mind showing you a photo of the channels if people want to know what they look like. Obviously these are people that are not, you don't see their faces, but I just want to show you kind of a photo that can best describe what the tunnels look like, as best as I can. Let's see if you can see this. I don't think you can see it over that. I'll place it in here for you guys. But the last thing I want to speak about before I close this down for today, there usually is stages to this. So the first stage is very mild. You might get you might have a bit of scarring on the skin. You might get the odd abscess. It's never usually reoccurring too bad, but you might get it now and again. That's stage 1. Stage 2, which is what I think I'm at, is when you get reoccurring boils, reoccurring abscesses, reoccurring acne, when you have more severe scarring, the scars don't go, you may need excessive treatment. That's usually stage 2. Now stage 3, I don't think I've had ever, thank God, but it can develop at any time. Stage 3 is kind of the extreme thing where you have quite deep like tunnels in the skin, scarring, excessive overloaded of like constant boils, abscesses, acne. Some people may even have to have surgery with this one. Constant inflammation everywhere. And yeah, it's basically, like I said, the picture will show you what the extremes are. I'm kind of at stage 2 at the moment. It can change any time. But yeah, like it's just it's really hard, but it's something that, you know, you have to kind of get. I think with PCOS as well, PCOS, from what I can tell, you can reverse the symptoms, but I don't know if you can get rid of it forever. But yeah, as for that, that's kind of all the information that I wanted to go over today with that, in case anyone wanted to know. I just want to make sure that everyone, like, if someone's going through it, you're not alone. It is a very debilitating condition. It can be very painful, and it can be different for different people. I've seen people have it on their face, like massive lumps. I've seen, like, it's just horrible. Is there anything I'm missing on here that I need to let you guys know? I don't think so. That's all the treatment plans. Okay, so lifestyle advice. So for people that are wanting lifestyle advice, so obviously the main ones with every single condition out there is lose weight or maintain a good weight, no smoking if you smoke, and then the rest of them are like avoid shaving the affected area. So when you have flare-ups, avoid shaving it until it kind of subsides. Wear loose fitting clothing, which is what I do anyway. However, sometimes it's not always, you can't escape it all the time. So like at night time, I don't wear much bras, or, you know, at night time when I'm sleeping, I do wear like trousers and stuff, but I might not wear underwear underneath, because it lets all the areas breathe. Hold a warm flannel on the lumps to encourage the pus to drain. Use an antiseptic skin wash or soap that may be prescribed alongside other treatments. So they're the ways that you can minimize it in the long term while you're going through medications or not. Don't ever pop stuff that you see if they are abscesses. Don't pop stuff yourself. The only thing they say to you is apply a warm flannel or a cloth to it to help ease it. Don't ever pop it yourself because it could lead to infection, which can lead to more serious stuff. If needed, you can go to the GP or doctor and they will do it themselves, I think, in a more kind of like stabilized, bacteria-free environment. But as for that, that's everything I want to talk about with this. Me personally, I've had it for, well, I've been diagnosed for a few years now. However, I think I had it from earlier on. That's where it affects me. It affects every day, really. Like, it can be very painful, but not only that, this is an inflammatory kind of disease. So what happens is my body personally feels inflamed, especially when I'm going through a flare-up. I become really tired, fatigue, I look so exhausted, pale. It affects you, like, it just makes you feel generally unwell. As you see, my face is not extreme at the moment, but there is definitely, you know, acne starting again. I'm hoping that in the long run, I won't have a serious outbreak for a long time. However, there is stuff there that if needed, I can go back onto. But yeah, you never know where you're going to be, really. So it's definitely a condition that's definitely debilitating. So for you, any of you out there that might have it, or you think someone else has it, or you just want to learn more, you know, I hope this video helped in any way. If you need to know more ins and outs of it, I can do another video if you would like to. However, I think it's different for different people. Like, a lot of people might have had surgery with this to help. Some people might have... I know a lot of women actually do experience in the armpits. However, I've never actually had one in there. So mine are mainly in the groin, thighs and stuff like that. So it is very debilitating, but there is courses of like treatment out there to kind of keep it going long term. It is kind of a shame it is long term though. I don't like the fact that it's long term, but there's nothing that we can do about it at the moment. So yeah, if you have any questions about it, if you need any more information, if you would like to suggest something for me to talk about next, that's aside from my own personal stuff, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know. Aside from that, I will be back very soon with a Christmas themed makeup. I will actually do a hair thing as well soon. I haven't done that yet on my channel, but I'm going to do that. If you want to see anything else, let me know. However, I will be back very soon, probably next week now. I'm doing this video Friday the 12th of December. So I will be back next week with another video, and I will do a makeup Christmassy vibe. But as for that, I hope you guys have a wonderful lead up to Christmas, and yeah, thank you for the support and have a good day.